Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Establish a recon post downstairs.
Code Red, repeat. We are...
In 1995, Pixar revolutionized the animation industry by making the world's first 3D animation feature-length film. This was completely game-changing as it pioneered the animation setup that would shape up for the next few decades. Pixar really upped the ante with stunningly realistic motion and visuals that paired well with insightful, thought-provoking plotlines. Ever since its inception, Pixar has really invested their time and resources in developing its animation technology to make it more realistic, which is great, except it's a bit boring.
Just shut up! Oops.
Now don't get me wrong, I love how Pixar and some of the other animation companies are trying to improve their technology to make their characters more lifelike. Except, the core idea of animation is to exaggerate and utilize its vast array of possibilities to tell stories that couldn't be told through live-action movies. If the entertainment value in animated movies depended on realism, anime would have become long obsolete. The truth is, animation technology had pretty much stagnated for the past few years, but with a few new entries, there is one studio that is changing the game. Yes, I'm going to build the suspense with this revelation, even though the title of the video clearly reveals which studio I'm talking about. That's right, I'm talking about Sony Pictures Animation. Yeah, I know, it's the same studio that brought you this crap.
What's he doing?
He's making the wrong face.
The truth is, Sony was not making any major waves in the animation industry, except for a few moderately successful franchises like Open Season and Hotel Transylvania. All their projects were fueled by interesting premises, but none of them had an edge over animation giants like Pixar and Disney. This is because Sony was using the cliched 3D animation template that had been in Hollywood for decades. And then, Sony changed the game with this amazing movie.
When do I know I'm Spider-Man?
You won't. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?
Spiderverse was game-changing in every sense of the way. A never-before-seen, complex and intriguing depiction of Spider-Man, and along with that, a beautifully choreographed style of animation that could not have done better justice in bringing a comic book to life. To just say that Spider-Verse's unique animation is a combination of 2D and 3D animation is a gross oversimplification. The animators wanted to create a living painting, and for that they used various techniques like motion smearing, deliberately misaligned colors to impart depth of field, and onomatopoeia to represent sounds and motion. Even the frame rate was played around with to portray different moods and character designs. For example, in the scene where Miles and Peter Parker swing through the forest, Miles was animated at 12 frames to show his inexperience, while Peter was animated at 24 frames to give him smoother movement that showed confidence. I'm not a hardcore comic book fan, but to see one of my favorite superheroes get his best possible iteration on screen was truly satisfying.
Wow, Miles! You're doing it on command!
It's about time, right?
While the animation used in Spider-Verse was completely spellbinding, it was yet to be seen whether a similar style would work on a plot that wasn't centered around a comic book story. To put all our apprehensions aside, Sony came up with the new Mitchell vs. the Machines.
Is that a burnt orange 1993 station wagon?
Or is it...
Who are these unstoppable warriors?
It's all exploding my hair! There we are. Warriors.
I'm not saying that this is a must-watch or an instant classic like Spider-Verse. In fact, the movie's plot is riddled with cliches like family does not get along, family has crisis, family fights together against crisis, crisis brings family together. Just the general design of the plot itself feels awfully similar to the story of Croods, which also has the dad-daughter conflict of ideas, except Croods is set in the Pliocene era and Mitchell vs. Machines is set in the present. It's not the plot that sets apart this movie, it's once again the animation style, set pieces that build on itself, and the overall mood that makes it an absolute fun ride. I mean, look at the opening credits itself. This movie really embodies the trolling, meme-making, self-animating culture induced by the uber media giants like Facebook, YouTube, etc. A lot of movies count on the element of suspension of disbelief to engage the viewer a lot more authentically. But this movie does not care about any of that. There are frequent appearances of live videos and images of real people throughout the length of the movie, which induces a sort of fourth wall breaking effect while watching it.
My dad kinda reminds me of that YouTube video of the screaming gibbon monkey.
Apart from that, there's constant running gags, creative use of text, and graphics with a nice clean dose of pop culture references that make this an absolutely fun movie to watch. Visual media has come a long way with the advent of computer-generated images, high-quality cameras, and path-breaking audio technology. Some of them use this evolution to create atmospheric, Oscar-worthy dramas like Gravity, Inception, and Shape of Water. Others use it to create fan favorites like kaiju monster movies, Star Wars, or the Avengers franchise. If Pixar is the animation equivalent of those Oscar-worthy dramas, Sony is their fun, mass-appealing counterpart.
I'll give them right back. I'm just gonna turn them off permanently!
What, Dad?
This is necessary so they can't track us. Trust me, this is causing me no joy. This hurts me more than it hurts you. And as promised, your phones.
Thank you, Father.